Yes, people, you already know who it is. It's your boy George. In today's video, we are doing a part two of Michael Carrick's tactics. So let's get straight into this one. We are rocking with the 4-2-3-1 narrow. Now, before you guys have a go at me and say, "No, George, it's a 4-2-3-1 wide," there was many occasions in the game where United had the ball in settled possession. You see Mbeumo, Cunha both occupying the half spaces with Bruno as the central 10. And you had the fullbacks in Shaw and Dallo hugging a touchline, but not just hugging a touchline, but making darting runs in behind. It wasn't Mbeumo and Cunha doing that. The only time you actually seen Mbeumo and Cunha making runs in behind was when Liverpool had the ball and lost it, and you'd get obviously Casemiro, even Bruno Fernandes dropping deep and finding Mbeumo and Cunha on the counter, making runs in behind. But in settled possession, when United had spells on the ball, um, they weren't really making any runs in behind, to be honest, guys. But another thing I want to talk about is the role of Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro shared responsibilities in dropping into defence to receive the ball because Liverpool were defending in a 4-4-2. So to outnumber the two strikers of Liverpool, one of the midfielders in would drop in the defence to create that three at the back against the Liverpool two strikers to create that 3 versus 2 with Casemiro as your lone six. But it would alternate. Sometimes it would be Casemiro dropping deep. But on this game, you can't create that fluctuation. So just pick one. If you want to put Casemiro as your player to drop into the centre back as a central guy and build up, then do so. But I felt with Kobe Mainoo, he done it slightly more than Casemiro. But I do have a 4-4-2 tactics where I don't have Kobe Mainoo doing that role because he was very versatile. He wasn't just stationed there throughout the whole game. He was drifting forward sometimes and linking up the play. So I have a 4-4-2 tactics in this video, guys. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's what I really seen in this 4-2-3-1 tactics at the moment. Obviously, I was talking about Dallo and Shaw hugging the touchline, making some very good runs in behind. So now we move on to the tactics. I still went with counter because I do want Mbeumo and Cunha to make runs at times, even though I've got them unbalanced. I just feel like that's how they play in general. And in game, you still want to create that feel of Michael Carrick's tactics, even if they're in their rest defense. So that's why I've gone with counter. Now, with the defensive approach, I was trying to go to 80, but I decided to go with 70. I still feel like, I do press very high, but I just try to play it a bit safe and go with 70. But 80, between 80 and 70 is optional. But I've gone with 70 in this video. They do press, they do try and win the ball high up. You see Kobe Mainoo as the guy to join the press with the forwards. And then it's Casemiro that's the one that's a sweeper in that midfield whenever they're trying to press from the opposing goal kicks. So that's what I've done for this. But that's pretty much everything for the tactics on the 4-2-3-1. Now we're going to break down the 4-4-2 tactics. So now let's analyze the 4-4-2 holding. This is when United are defending in their own half. This is slightly more of a defensive approach. So completely different to the 4-2-3-1 tactics, guys. As you can see here, we've got Cunha and Mbeumo now on attack inside forwards because when we do win the ball back in deeper areas, we want to try and get the ball high. But as you can see here, clearly a 4-4-2, obviously off the screen. You got Dallo on the far side. You got Bruno Fernandes, Sesko as your two strikers leading the press. We've also got Bruno Fernandes on false nine. I was contemplating whether to put him on build up or attack. I've decided to go with attack because he actually had a chance where he almost scored in the first half and it was through a run inside the box. So I've gone with attack, guys, but you can put it on build up. It's totally understandable because he is a cam, he's not a striker. Wing backs, or I should say fullbacks, pretty much how it was in the 4-2-3-1. I've gone with attack. Same principle, win the ball back. You want as many people going forward. Now, with my two DMs, Mainu and Casemiro, Mainu doesn't have to drop deep into the defense to receive the ball because this formation is heavily reliant on getting the ball into Bruno Fernandes and then starting attacks. Just getting the ball directly into your strikers. It's nothing to do with build up. So I don't need him as the guy to do that. Do you know what I mean? Same with Casemiro as well. That's why they're on build up, deep line playmaker. I want to do in the same role. So they still will drop deep and help in progression, but not like really deep, if you get me. So that's why I've decided to go with both of them as deep line playmakers for this. Now we're breaking down the tactics. I've still gone with counter, obviously, and a slightly more deeper depth in 55. 55, 60, nothing more than that, I'd say, is probably the perfect way to replicate how Man United were defending in their own half. Very deep, at the same time, very compact in that 4-4-2. And they've been defending like that under Michael Carrick for a very long time now. In my last video I've done, explaining Michael Carrick's tactics, I used the 4-4-2, and I got slight backlash from some of you guys saying they don't play in a 4-4-2. So this is why I've made another video breaking down a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-4-2 to create that little balance. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. Let me guys know how it is in the comment section down below, playing with it. Take care. Peace.